Welcome to Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Spicer Bell. I'm the president of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. And through this series of programs, we shine the Community Foundation spotlight on nonprofit organizations that are making a real difference in our community. And today we're shining that spotlight on Urban Salisbury. And my guest is Allan Hope, who is the executive director of Urban Salisbury.
Nice to see you.
Allan, you've been here a little over 3 years, I think,
yes,
haven't you?
Just about 3.5
With
years.
Urban Salisbury.
Yes, that's right.
For those of folks who are watching, who may have heard of Urban Salisbury but really don't know what you do, tell them about Urban Salisbury.
Well, Urban Salisbury was formed in 2001. The Department of Housing and Community Development approached the city of Salisbury and said, we believe you would benefit from this Main Street program. And the city deliberated and agreed to create Urban Salisbury. And we're a 501c3, a nonprofit agency, and through historic preservation and many other activities, we look to revitalize the downtown and cause the economy of the local area to prosper even further. And that's what we're all about, and that's where we came from. It's been an exciting time. Urban Salisbury has had its peaks and valleys, but we're coming up to our 10th anniversary, so we're really quite proud that we've survived and prospered. And certainly had some success stories over those 10 years.
Yes,
indeed.
And we were chatting before we started taping, and have I think some interesting projects on the horizon too. We'll talk about as we chat here.
We operate through 4 main committees, and that's, I always try to remember these in alphabetical order. That's design, which provides design services to basically anybody in our territory for free, and they also provide consulting design advice to the city and other nonprofits. We have our Economic Development Committee, which is principally responsible for new ventures and business retention. And then, of course, our Promotions Committee, which gets great media attention because it does special events largely. And then the Organization Committee, which is the tough one, that raises membership and funds for Urban Salisbury. So those are our 4 main committees, but we have some others like our Arts and Entertainment District Steering Committee and our Park and Flea Committee, and that make major impacts on the downtown and the community.
And your focus is really that urban core, that downtown area of Salisbury, and trying to keep it viable, make it even more viable in the future.
That's right. Our territory is bounded by Highway 13 and then the Highway 50 Boulevard. It loops over onto the west side, kind of follows the river down, and there's a little appendix that heads down towards Camden but doesn't quite get there, and then Carroll Street back to 13. So it's a big piece of geography, and we have 5 neighborhoods within that. But we also, I'm pleased to report that our members and supporters are not just from that territory. That we get support from all over the city. Pohanka is one of our major supporters. We work closely with for instance, the Charles H. Chipman Center and Poplar Hill Mansion, who are not in our territory, but we are interested in, and one of our principal goals is heritage preservation, and those are key properties for this community. So we reach well out beyond the footprint, shall we say.
And Allan, for those folks in the community who don't know you very well, you bring a unique background to your tenure here at Urban Salisbury. You've been involved with this sort of activity for many years. Many years,
37 years, which amazes me, but because I didn't think
time flies when you're having fun, right?
That's right. And I had been a banker, and I thought, well, okay, I'll get into the consulting business for a while, and until something else comes along. But anyway, here I am 37 years later, and I've always worked in economic development, urban revitalization, and corporate strategic planning. Those are the 3 fields that I've specialized in over the years. And I'm in Salisbury. I came to Salisbury because of the potential, and I stay because of the potential, because Salisbury has so much to offer And if we work together as partners with agencies like yours and many, many others, this city can only do nothing else but prosper.
Mm-hmm. You talked to a few minutes ago, you mentioned about committees.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of generally, how is urban Salisbury structured?
Well, we're totally volunteer-based.
Okay.
And our members get involved with these various committees and other special projects. In fact, we had a meeting the other night and somebody said, well, why don't we do this? And we all looked around and said, there's a good idea, let's do it. Mm-hmm. And will that person take charge of it? Sure.
And you talked about building partnerships.
Yes, we must have partnerships. Our
partners. Who are some of your key partners?
Well, certainly SU is an important partner for us. PRMC, the City of Salisbury, Salisbury Fire Department, the NAB Research Center.
Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce.
You maintain office at
yes,
Chamber
indeed.
of Commerce, don't you?
Thank goodness. Yeah, we have a great working relationship.
And they're doing a great beautification project right now. They're for their own building.
That's right. They are
an example of something that can be done to spruce up the
that's
downtown.
Right. And their project is a great project, but it's not, I guess, a mega project. It's not something that is going to gain widespread notoriety. But we have found, and I personally have found over the years, that these smaller projects that move in make incremental changes and are A, easier to deliver, and B, have a lasting impact. But they don't get the attention that the $100 million project might. Yeah. But they're very, very beneficial for any community.
I think Urban Salisbury was involved a year or two ago in the beautification around the railroad bridge there on
That's right.
East
That's
Main Street.
A wonderful project. That it was a Chamber of Commerce committee, but we were involved with them, and that made all the difference in the world to that intersection. And
I don't want to offend anybody,
yeah.
but I think it easily before could have been qualified as an eyesore. And
I think very definitely. I think that was the consensus and the starting point. Oh yes, this needs repaired, and it did.
It really did. And
yes.
I think that certainly one of the measures of success of an organization like Urban Salisbury over time is linking together those types of projects so that you have an improvement to an area.
Exactly. I think that without the partnerships that we have and are building, we would not achieve anywhere near as much. And I like to think neither would the organizations that we partner with. I mean, we get a call or an email and for a project from someone else, another agency, and almost invariably the first word out of my mouth is, yes, we'll do that. Mm-hmm. Now let's figure out how we're going to deliver it. Because it benefits both of us and benefits the community ultimately, because we are all about the community. We're not a downtown business association. We're about community revitalization that happens to be within the downtown area.
Mm-hmm. Why is a healthy downtown important?
Well, I think, I've said to people in the past, and I did remember it the other day, if you have a community that does not have a healthy downtown, then you should adopt a donut as your corporate logo or your municipal logo. Mm-hmm. The downtown a healthy downtown is defined, I guess, by having a sensitive mix of residential, retail, restaurant and food service, offices, and other employers downtown, so that it is vibrant 24 hours a day, as opposed to being active, if you will, from 9 to 5 and then dying, or vice versa, active at 6 o'clock till 2 in the morning. And that's a healthy downtown, and I think those communities that lack that have serious problems, and crime is up, there is a disenfranchisement, people do not feel the sense of community, they're not part of anything, and everyone wants to be part of something. I mean, we're herd creatures, we like to band together, and so keeping and making downtown Salisbury healthier is a very worthwhile goal, not just for me, but I think for everyone.
And that can be a challenge regardless of the size of a community.
It certainly can.
I know I don't want to pick on it, but I was in Charlotte, North Carolina recently for a conference.
Yes.
And it has been a remarkably prosperous community
Yes.
in recent years.
Yes.
But as the sun goes down, they literally pull up the sidewalks
Yes,
in downtown.
that's exactly right.
Everybody commutes in, works there, and then leaves. And other than a few restaurants, my wife happened to be with me. She went shopping, wanted to go shopping, and went to a local visitor center, and they informed her there's no shopping in downtown.
That's exactly
They
right.
directed her to a mall outside of the center of the city.
And it's interesting you mentioned Charlotte, because it's a city that I know well, and I know their downtown operation, and they have a super relationship with the university, and they're very passionate about their downtown. But they simply have not been able, despite serious investment and serious efforts over many years, to get that healthy mix. Yes, you can go out after 6 and go to those restaurants, but you can't shop. The mayor, I think it was last year, proposed putting a major residential project downtown. And it sort of stalled, as these things sometimes do, in the politics of the situation. And so that's a perfect example. And it's not a big city problem, it's a small town problem. Every community faces it, and it's a real challenge. Hence, there's a national Main Street program that has over 1,500 member communities across the country. There's a similar program in Canada. The whole thing came from Britain when the cities were bombed out, and the government stepped in and rebuilt these communities, and then very quickly realized that, oh my God, we've created something sterile. We have to have a mix of goods and services and people and activities to create a real lifestyle, or we've just infilled, as they did originally, but just infilled with what were called council houses. And people lived there, but there was no sense of community to the place.
And we've kind of done it to ourselves in this country to an extent because of our love of the automobile.
Oh, yes. Well,
so we want to get in the car and drive somewhere.
Oh, yes, yes. Yeah.
Rather than do something in our own neighborhood often. So
well, you and I, one of the things we share is that we both enjoy automobiles, and I know you do. And there is that innate pleasure of, yes, I'm going to get in the car now. Well, you know, if you have a healthy downtown, bring the car, there's lots of parking, park the car and walk around. You'll be amazed what you find.
That's right. Now, a while ago, you mentioned that Urban Salisbury was started by the city. Characterize the current working relationship with the city.
We have a wonderful working relationship with the city, and we do joint venture projects. And in fact, the city is, one of the things we're most active in now is putting together an information package, I guess, to advise prospective businesses and property owners and their tenants what stimulus assistance is available. We work with the city to administer their revolving loan fund, which is a great package of $50,000, very attractive loan for tenants and property owners. There's enterprise zone tax credits, art and entertainment district credits. There's a whole variety of programs that we work with the city to deliver and to stimulate investment downtown and create jobs and provide for a better quality of life.
Certainly we're dealing with a challenging economy right now, have been for the last couple of years. Hopefully seeing some glimmers of something better on the horizon.
Yes.
Is Salisbury poised to be able to take advantage, to be in a good position as the economy recovers?
I think so. You know, clearly the economy of this area and the entire country is becoming more knowledge-based. I mean, we know that. Anyone who listens to the media knows that. Manufacturing is not going to be coming back the way it was. We have evolved as a society, and Salisbury is on the leading edge of that. SU, Warwick, UMES, these educational institutions are graduating people with skill sets. Now the idea, and I'm a big advocate of this, is to capture as many of these young people and keep them here by offering them jobs in their chosen fields, which builds a stronger and healthier economy. Downtown, I'm pleased to report that over the last year we've had 5 new businesses open, and they're all doing very well, thank you very much.
And in reality, most of the jobs that have been created in this country over the last 20 or 30 years have not been created by Fortune 500
That's exactly right.
They're created by small businesses of 50 or fewer employees and startups.
Yes.
So if we can provide an environment that's supportive of that, then we are going to create jobs.
Yes. I mean, I know someone could come downtown today and say they wanted to set up an office. We have property downtown, turnkey operation, where you can set up your office for $200 a month. And basically you're starting your business. And run it from there with a real live address and a real live office and shared meeting space and all that sort of thing. That incubation space already exists downtown. And the new businesses that are coming in some are restaurants, some are retail. There's one business that I'm so impressed by, and that's Cake Art, and they sell cupcakes. And I believe it's a barometer of Salisbury's ability to absorb cupcakes. I want to see how long it is before she changes her product offering. But, you know, that's the kind of thing that's happening. Imaginative, unique entrepreneurs are opening downtown, and that's great stuff.
Great. You're watching Community Foundation Spotlight. We're glad to have you as a viewer here on Pac14. And my guest today is Allan Hope. Allan is the Executive Director of Urban Salisbury, and we're talking about some of the activities that are underway to keep downtown Salisbury viable and make it even more viable in the future. Have a couple of things particularly I want to ask you about. You were talking about new businesses. Evo Brewery.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe moving to downtown Salisbury.
We have our fingers and toes crossed that Evo will come home from that faraway place of Delaware and open basically just on the edge of downtown in the former ice plant, and open a brewery and a brew pub there, and that'll be a wonderful economic stimulus, tourism stimulus, excuse me, for the community. So we're thrilled with that project.
There'll be jobs, and certainly the whole craft brewing thing fascinates me. I'm not particularly a beer drinker, but I have sons and sons-in-law who are, and they really follow that. And when they visit here, they like to make sure I have a sampling of these locally brewed beers and ales for them.
If we have our, if we're at all lucky, and I believe we will be, you'll be able to take those sons and sons-in-law and say, okay, made here, right in this building, let's have a good meal, and you can sample the beers and ales that they provide. I'm very, very pleased with that project.
And Urban Salisbury would help them promote that project?
Any way we can. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because any of our business operators that want promotional assistance will step in. To that end, we have in-house a young lady that works with me who is both a graphic artist and a commercial writer. So preparing materials is something that we can do. We also have a wonderful relationship with the SU Graphic Arts Department, and they've just produced a new brochure for us that will be published in the next 6 weeks or so, and it's just stunning. And
you share with me another neat project. It's over here. Wonderful partnership.
This is
with high school students?
With James M. Bennett High School, and I will give this to you. This is our newsletter that comes out about 3-4 times a year, and it's Downtown Matters, and it touches on some of the achievements. And I'd be very negligent to say, not to mention the newest sculpture that our sculpture committee has had placed downtown, thanks to Bill and Judy Hearn, and arts project at PRMC, Cake Art, Serenity Women's Wear. We feature some of our new businesses, our farmers market, our Third Friday program, Firefest, which is an amazing program that celebrates the heritage of Salisbury. So if anyone wants this, please contact the office, and we'll be happy to provide it to you. But it's also online on our website at www.urbansalisbury.com. And we can, again, if it's convenient, send out an electronic copy to anyone.
And we're going to get
I'll give that to you.
Great. We're going to get your address and web address and all on the monitor here.
Wonderful.
For folks. And this, a lot of the work on this was done by James M. Bennett.
James M. Bennett students wrote all of the material, took the photographs, and really, it's just a pleasure working with them. And that's why our writing staff is featured on the back of the every issue. And it's just a great experience for everybody.
Great for those students as they're building their resumes and what have you. So
that's exactly right.
You're talking about building partnerships, and another great example of that.
It really is.
Now, another thing I don't want us to get away without talking about, Third Friday.
Yes.
What's a Third Friday?
A Third Friday is a party. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Thanks to Connie Strott, Lee Whaley, Rachel Turgic, and Ann Taylor, they have put together an amazing series, monthly series of parties every third Friday. The shops are open, the restaurants are open, there's art, there's music, all free to the public. And yep, it's moved indoors for the winter, but the crowds are still there, and people should come and enjoy Third Friday because it's just a tremendous event that shows not only what there is to do in the diversity of downtown, but also, I think, nurtures community spirit. You can come, you can get involved. No, you don't have to spend a lot of money, or frankly, any. But you're part of something.
Don't have to dress up.
That's right. That's right. Yes, indeed.
And you can. It's amazing. We've attended several times, and it's wonderful to see some of your neighbors. Sometimes you see some folks you don't see other times during the week.
And some of the people will turn around. I think of Bill Otis, our chair, who's been in Salisbury forever, and Bill will walk around and make that observation, but he'll also say, but I didn't recognize anybody. These are all new faces, you know, and that's a wonderful thing, that people are coming to the downtown, and certainly Mayor Ayrton's been very supportive of that program, and he shoots a YouTube video every month, which I still don't fully understand, but anyway, that's just me. But it's a great program. It's just a terrific program. And we're very proud of it.
Now, you mentioned YouTube. Is Urban Salisbury on any of the social media? Or
yes. Oh, yes.
Do you have a Facebook page?
We have a Facebook page with virtually about 1,700 members, and also there's a Save Downtown Salisbury page that was started by James M. Bennett students, or former students. They've now graduated. And it's got 1,300 members, and so we're linked to that directly. And I have just agreed to link to another Facebook page that is called Salisbury is the Bomb. No, I don't. You're looking at me, Palmer or Spicer. I don't know what that means either. But in any case, we reach out basically every day to 4,000 people.
Great.
Via the social media. And, you know, it's great fun. And it's always interesting to see the dialogue that's going on. They're talking about Salisbury and their personal lives and all those kinds of things. It's great fun to get involved with that.
Great. And when you say Third Friday's party, some of our viewers might think that's just young people.
Oh, no. It's for it really is a family event.
It really is. It really is. I no longer classify myself as a young person, but my wife and I have enjoyed Third Friday several times.
I mean, there really is something for everyone. You know, I'm thinking of past Third Fridays where I've been walking along the street and I run into SpongeBob SquarePants or SquareBob, you know, this character, and I'm standing there going, okay, you know, yep. And I just keep going, but the children are just loving it.
They are, absolutely.
And we did the tree lighting, and Santa was there, and we had Santa's workshop downtown, and I honestly didn't keep count, but many children had their pictures taken on Santa's knee, and we had music from a number of the communities and cultures within Salisbury, and that will be a bigger and better event next year. So we're thrilled with those community events.
Great. What other plans does Urban Salisbury have on the horizon?
Well, we're working closely. We've got a couple of new business ventures that we're hoping that we will get on stream by the spring, and we're working closely with SU through the Town Gown Council on one or two projects. So I think we'll be able to make some pretty special announcements by the spring.
So we've always tuned.
Stay tuned.
Watch,
we've always
watch
got
the
something
website.
Going on. Yes.
Get on Facebook.
Yes.
Become a friend
Yes.
or fan.
And get involved, folks. I mean, membership is nominally expensive. It covers our administration costs. A personal membership is $30. But most importantly, it gets you involved with the community in a way that is not a social service agency, but a way to build your community and make it stronger and make it healthier and help us realize the potential that is Salisbury, because there's so many great things here to offer, and we're working with the NAB Center, for instance, on a couple of things, and that's a delightful organization.
Right.
And outside of this building, I just noticed, I don't know if your viewers know, but they're the signer of one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, I suppose, lived here, Mr. Chase, and that's new information to me and maybe for a lot of your viewers. So we want to help spread that message.
Great history of the area. We've got about 2 minutes. If your wish list, how else, other ways that people could get involved? Can they volunteer?
Please volunteer.
Become a member?
Become a member, and to volunteer you don't have to become a member, but get involved. If there's you've got an idea or a suggestion or a comment you'd like to make, please contact us and even share that experience with us. I had a call this morning from a retired vet, and this gentleman went on about some suggestions, and he had some terrific ideas that we'll take into consideration. Sure.
Well, Alan, thank you for coming in and visiting with us.
Thank you for having me.
Wish you continued success with the efforts at Urban Salisbury.
Thank you so much. And to you at CFES, I know you're doing great work over there, and I keep it up.
Yeah. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching Community Foundation Spotlight. My guest today has been Allan Hope, who is the Executive Director of Urban Salisbury, an organization that is really dedicated to continuing to have a viable community of downtown and the total community viable and vibrant here in the Salisbury area. And we thank you for watching Community Foundation Spotlight on Pac14.
Would you like to see your community organization or nonprofit group featured on Pac14? To get started, contact us at 410-677-5014 or visit our website at www.pac14.org. Pac14 is a great way to connect with your community.